some reason my audio wasn't working. Hang on a second. Let's see if it's working now. Well, appears to be. All right, now of course from the comments in the last couple of videos, I suppose that the angry ones amongst you are Trumpites, and you're just thrilled to death. I guess you haven't put the champagne bottle down since this story broke yesterday. But the facts that are coming out now have to do with Anthony with Weiner's wife, and although she's a high muckety muck in the Clinton campaign, and she worked for Hillary while she was Secretary of State, that the emails that she may have sent on the service on her service was from a laptop that she shared with her husband. So we might find out something about Libya and be courting some 15-year-old girl in the following email. We don't know yet. But what is interesting is that there's a policy at the Attorney General's office, in which the FBI is a subsidiary of, that nothing that could affect an election is spoken about for 60 days prior to an election. Now here we were yesterday, 11, 12 days out from the election, and this guy comes out to cover his own ass and makes this statement. He made it against the will of the Attorney General, and against the policy of not only the Attorney General's office, but also of the standard practice of the FBI. Now, I'm all for any kind of information. I think the public should have all information on all these people, not only Hillary, but everybody, Obama, Speaker of the House, you name it, that the only way you really have any knowledge about anybody appears is through WikiLeaks or through something else. But doesn't it strike you as strange that WikiLeaks have been leaking information on only Hillary, and it is not a guess anymore, but it has been asserted that through 17 different sources that look into these things, from the State Department to CIA, etc., that the high authorities in the Russian government are responsible for giving the orders to look into these WikiLeaks and to hack into the Democratic National Headquarters. Now, if they hacked into the Democrats, they hacked into the Republicans, and the Republicans and Trump, aren't they smarter than the Democrats when it comes to using emails and to using Twitter and every other goddamn thing? So they've got information on Trump, but they prefer just to release it, and through WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is only given this information to disseminate. They haven't found out any of this information. They're not the source of this information. They're just the distributor of this information. So you can be damn well sure that the Russians have information on Trump, but they just chose not to release it because who knows what kind of commercial ventures Trump and the government of Russia have going for him. We know that the highest guy in the Trump what do I want to say, retinue of individuals had worked for people high up in the Russian oligarchy. So we know that there was a Trump connection to the Russians, and it's undeniable. So don't put all your bullshit, stupid things that I'm speculating. It's been proven to be the case. Well, the thing to me is that the FBI guy was never a fan of Hillary's, and why the president or the Attorney General hasn't just fired him. I guess it would look much worse for Hillary if he got fired, but he should have been fired merely for breaking orders from her and for breaking normal policy and for interjecting himself into an election less than 2 weeks before the election. But Hillary ought to be asking about Trump University. Now, in the state of Florida, Trump made a $17,000 contribution to the Attorney General of the state of Florida, who is investigating 300 complaints of Trump University. Now, we know Trump University was illegal from day one. They never were a university. They never were, like Trump said, that he knew all the people, the professors and all in it, and later on come out that he's never met a single one, and that you can't just call yourself a university and operate. But the interesting thing is that this was across state lines, that he took money from people, and the whole idea was to get him to cough up $35,000 and go for a weekend lecture someplace, in which you learn nothing. The art of the deal. It's the art of the steal. And so, this means it was interstate, that this should have been investigated by the FBI and the Attorney General, because it involved interstate commerce. And although a lot of these students will eventually probably get their money back, that this case was dropped by the Attorney General after Trump made a $17,000 contribution to her reelection funds. Now, add to that, Trump, besides his university, Trump Foundation, to which he's contributed nothing since either 2006 or 2007. Millions of dollars are in this thing, and that he's claimed he's given them out, and they've been checked, and in most cases he hasn't given out a cent. So he has, though, used some of that money and spent it on personal problems. The one was that he was being sued for this flagpole down in Florida, and because he was being fined daily, the fines added up to $100,000, and they settled. The state of Florida settled the flagpole deal by having him contribute, which his fine was $100,000, contribute the $100,000 to a Veterans Affairs foundation. Now, that's all in well, but now Trump gets to brag that he contributed $100,000 to this Veterans Foundation when all he did was pay this $100,000 fine. All right, and not a nickel of that $100,000 was his money. Now, the foundation, it was found out that was started and founded in the state of New York, is an illegal foundation. They never filed papers for the foundation. Yet this money has been spent also all around the country, even for that, I forget, it was $30,000 or whatever, for a picture of himself, a painting of himself to hang in Mar-a-Lago. Now, that too is interstate commerce. And where the Sam hell is the FBI and the Attorney General on that case? This guy has complaints. He left the state of New Jersey with $25 million tax bill. $25 million, the state of New Jersey. Why the hell isn't Hillary and all the Democrats talking about this? Listen, this guy has never made a deal that he's paid for. There's still, I have personal people that I know that got screwed by Trump in the casinos, that he never paid them for their final work. And these are little guys. And he's a big guy. Why is he a big guy? Because he doesn't pay his goddamn bills. This guy is such a crook that I'm no fan of Hillary's, but I'm certainly going to vote for Hillary. As far as she'll maintain the right of a woman to an abortion. She will put some restrictions on gun control as far as allowing terrorists to buy guns. She's not affecting the Second Amendment, not one letter, and she will enforce the gay marriage rights throughout all 50 states. Now, how in the world you can allow some nutcase in there that's gonna put nothing but super far right wing jerks on the Supreme Court is beyond me. But this whole thing stinks, and I hope you realize that. But I think Hillary could just as quickly come back on Trump for all the cases that the FBI decided not to look into Trump.